This is so hot. 30 degrees in this greenhouse. Not the best day to be weeding. Nearly there now.
This is it. This is the big one. This is the one we've all been waiting for. This is the big plant out. This is all my seeds, everything that's been sown. Did this towards the end of March, been growing them all on. They are now well and truly ready to go out and get planted. This is the big plant out. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what we've got growing, and then we're going to get it all in the car. We're going to get it taken down to the allotment, and we're going to get it all planted in. Great day for it. Sun's shining. Let's get on with it. So all of these have been grown from seed. I'll show you exactly what I've got. I'm very lucky they've been sat on this table right in front of the windows. So it's been warm, it's been sunny, and they've really germinated well. So to start with, we've got plenty of beetroot. These were a massive success last year, so I've done plenty more this year. I've done 3 different types of cucumbers. These are the normal straight long ones, which are actually the biggest plant. Next to it is the cucumber snack size. You'll notice they're already flowering. These probably should have been planted out maybe last week, but hey ho, I'm pretty sure they'll soon settle down. And then new one on me, I haven't grown them before. These are the cucamelon, which are very small, tiny cucumbers, or taste like cucumber with a hint of lime, a bit bigger than a grape. It's got all of those germinated. They are actually looking really healthy, so they should be good. I've done a ton of melons, 2 per plug or 2 per pot. They've all germinated, looking really strong and healthy. They are melon ananas. Then we've got a tray of onions. That's going to take me a while to separate all of those. These were grown in a tray because onions are particularly small seeds. So they've been scattered in there, and then each one of these will need to be pricked out and placed into a bed. Here we've got a load of tomatoes. They're all looking healthy. I've got a mixture between cherry, tomato, and also the bush variety, which will trail out of the pot. We've got some money makers, which are much larger, and these here are Gardener's Delight, which are absolutely huge, gone a bit leggy, so I'll be able to plant those in. I'll show you exactly how to plant them when they go too big. Behind there, we've got some courgettes, more courgettes over here. We've got some marigold, again, grown from seed. We've got my pumpkins, which are growing really, really nicely. And then some huge sunflowers, which again, ready to go into a new pot or even in the ground. Finally, I've got some peppers and some chillies and even some lettuce, which really needs to go in because they're getting root bound also. So let's get these loaded into the car and then we'll get down to the allotment.
Right before I do anything, I've got to sort this greenhouse out, weed it and remove the bubble wrap.
And what is this bug? Anyone tell me? Some kind of beetle? Seems like he's asleep. Funny looking fella. Right, I can actually see what I'm doing now. All the bubble wrap's off. There's been a few little surprises. First of all, the pomegranate has produced flowers again this year. So hopefully I shall get a pomegranate or 2, depending if they get pollinated. But that's more flowers than I've ever seen on it. Maybe leaving the bubble wrap on longer has helped. And also, the grapevine has gone quite crazy, already putting on masses of growth. You can see this is grown in the space of about a month, and that's over a foot long, just that one tendril. What you have to do at this time is, once the fruits form, so a good example will be this one. So that has come off the bud, comes off from here where we chopped it back to, grows along, there's your bunch of grapes, and then you want to snip it just after the grapes. However, if you want to see how I do tend to the grapevine and how I give it a trim, then please do subscribe to the channel, as this will be on a future video. You'll see exactly how I get nice lush grapes. But for now, back to tidying and weeding the rest of the greenhouse. This is so hot. 30 degrees in this greenhouse. Not the best day to be weeding, but nearly there now. That was hard work, but well worth it. Now I'm going to put the weed control fabric down either side, and then it's time to get planting.
Okay, we are ready to get planting. On the left hand side are these big tomato grow bags. They say you can fit 3 tomatoes per bag. I'm going to go for 4 because they're the biggest grow bags I've ever seen. They were only a £5 each from my local garden centre, which I thought was good value. Then I saw these other little baby ones, which I can get a few different tomatoes or maybe even melons in there. So here are the melons. We're ready to go, and they're all the different types of cucumber. We're potting those in a moment, but here and here are the tomatoes. I've got the money maker, I've got the bush tumbling variety here, and these are the cherry tomato. On the right hand side is pots, and it's going to be a bit of an experiment. I'm going to grow exactly the same type, basically opposite each other. So if there's a money maker there, there'll be a money maker there, and we're going to see pots versus grow bag. I'll just take you into the polytunnel. Okay, the polytunnel is also starting to fill up nicely. On the right hand side, we've got all my strawberries, which are all linked up via the solar drip irrigation system. These just water by themselves. I don't have to now worry about these. And then my new little table at the back. This is where I'm going to have my peppers. Should I say peppers? They are the Colour Spectrum Sweet and the Hot Cayenne Pepper or Chili. And they're just going to be on pots. And I'll also link up my solar dripper system to these also. So let's get them planted in. Right, I have just changed my mind. We're going to do 3 per bag. That's what it says you do. I'm going to stick to that. So to begin with, we just want to cut a hole. What I tend to do is cut across like so, and then you just tuck the plastic inside itself, and now we've got a nice big hole ready for the tomatoes to go directly into. So first ones, we've got the red cherry tomato. So I'm going to take this nice big one. You can see the roots coming out the bottom of the pot. These are so ready to go in. Now, if you can see the stem on a tomato plant, those tiny little hairs, if planted, will actually then become new roots. So what I tend to do is plant the tomato about 2 or 3 inches off where it's actually come out from the soil itself, so that we get extra roots basically coming out the base of the trunk of the plant or the main stem. That then will allow it to produce even more tomatoes and support better growth. So I'll pop this out. Here we go, came out very nicely. I'm being very careful not to squeeze the stem. That's what we don't want to damage. If you damage a leaf, it'll be fine. Another one will grow back. But we're just gonna make a nice big hole. Not to the very bottom, but mostly. Really plant him in. Firm him, but not too firm. So you can see that's planted much higher than it originally was. And what I want to do is create like almost a little crater around, so that when I do water, there'll be a little pool of water just around the bottom of that plant, so that the so it takes in maximum water. But there we go, there's the first one in. You may have noticed these strings. These all come up off the top. They're all connected connected onto that wire up there, and then they come all the way down. And then what the idea is, you can attach some kind of stake, plant that in next to it, and then as the plant grows up, you just twist the plant around the string, so it's got some support without damaging it, and it'll just hold it upright. So a great idea. I put these strings in years ago and they're still there now, but I won't put them in straight away. I'll wait till the plants get a bit bigger first. Right, there's our first 3 red cherry tomatoes in. So it's 3 in the grow bag, and then behind me will be the final 3 in pots. Let's see this experiment, which grows the best. Some of these tomatoes are already getting a bit leggy, so I've started the string off early. So as you can see, it just winds its way around the plant, and that just is secured nicely. That'll just grow up against there, and that's connected up above into there. Just an alternative to canes, but you don't have to attach it on with anything. I've just literally firmed it into the ground down there on the end of a stake, a little mini spike, and then you just wind it round as it grows higher. Right, I really want to get me cucumbers in. So you can see they're starting to yellow a little bit. They are desperate to get out. And I'm going to try something a little different this year. I'm going to do 2 cucumber plants per big pot. Now that's all fresh compost in. I'm going to have 2 of these next to each other, and then we're going to have them growing up at the back. They did really well in that area last year, so I'm going to go for 4 cucumber in those pots. They're the long cucumbers, the one you buy in the shops. Then next to it we've got the snack size, and then we've got the cucumber melons. So I want to get at least those big ones in today. So exactly the same as the other methods. Just going to give the pot a little squeeze, loosen it off, and then just very gradually, gently take the, oh, look at the size of the root on that. That's perfect. Looks a bit yellow now, but once I get it in this soil, I think it'll do fantastic. Move that out the way. So I'm just going to have 2 side by side, because this is nice fresh compost that's nice and soft. And I'm going to plant them quite deep to get all that root in. Firm it around. There we go, we've got 1 in. Then I'm just going to pop 1 next to it. Okay, both in, or should I say all 4. That pot should be plenty of room and space for all 4 cucumbers. It's even little flowers starting already. I'm not sure I'm meant to pick them off because it's so small, but eventually these will grow up really tall, come up here somewhere, and I'll need to put a trellis in or canes and attach them in so they can grow up high and the cucumbers can dangle low. So these fun little smaller bags, these planter bags, I'm going to put some melons in there and try some in there, and I'm going to have some pots in here, extra protection, and maybe even some of these pots as well. So lots of different varieties or different growing methods, and we'll see which produces the best melons. So I'll get them in as well. Right, so 4 melon plants now in. I've got about another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 6 that I'm going to try different techniques. Some might even go in the ground, some will be in big pots, some might be in more planters like this. But I've still got plenty more to get planted in. Next door neighbour's just given me some broccoli and cabbage. I've got the onions, I've got some leeks, I've got the peppers and the sweet corn and the chillies. So I better get cracking on with this. Hope you've liked the video. If you haven't already, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. See you now. Bye now.